Hey guys, welcome to day number 19. Mark Gaudette here, coming to you on my personal development journey where every day I'm making one video at least where I'm sharing one or two things that I've learned that I've been applying in my journey that you too can apply in yours and share with others. So here it is. Today's topic is productivity, or what I'll call it, I'm going to call it perfectionism, the enemy of productivity. That's what I'm going to call it. So here's why this is so important. Guys, this is something I struggled with for so many years, and as I became more conscious of it lately, I've been able to accelerate my results and get more done in my business and in my life. And guess what? I hear this question coming up a lot in the community. A lot of people get frustrated. They say they don't know how to get their best workout into the world. They don't, it's taking them too long to do something. And they're worried that it's not perfect yet, so they can't put it out there yet. Guys, it's nonsense. When you realize how much this is nonsense, you're gonna realize that it's almost laughable. It's really laughable at how we let some perfectionism hold us back. This video, it's not perfect, neither are any of my other videos, but guess what? There's a message in each one of those videos, and as I keep putting out more content, I keep attracting more people that can come to these messages and have an impact on their life by watching these videos. But if I said it needed to be perfect, okay, then I would have never made any of those videos. If I said I need the perfect camera, the lighting's got to be perfect, I've got to practice my speech more, it's got to be perfect, I didn't say the right word, or the title of the video is not quite right yet, I can't post it yet. All of these what ifs and these other thoughts that come into our head that prevent us from actually doing the thing that we want to do. Guys, I know I'm not alone here. If you've thought about think about it for a second. If there's ever a project that you wanted to do, a website you wanted to create, a book you wanted to write, a new thing you wanted to start at work, at your 9-to-5 job, a new project or a conversation you wanted to have with someone, and you didn't do it, or it took you a lot longer than what you thought, I want you to sit there and think about the thoughts that were going through your head. Oh, this doesn't sound right. What are people, oh, people won't like this. What are people gonna think about this piece of content? What are people gonna think if I put the business out like that, if I use this word? All of those things. And have you ever been in that situation and maybe you had so many of these thoughts that you just ended up doing nothing? You had a sense of inspiration to create something, and then all of a sudden, all of these thoughts either made it take so much longer and took so much of your energy that you got frustrated, you got stressed, you got anxiety, that it took you way longer to put the project out, and by the time you put it out, you weren't as inspired, or even worse, you let those thoughts eventually take away all that inspiration to the point where you didn't even put the project out. And then you waited for a new time where inspiration hit you, and you went through the same process. Be really conscious about this, guys, because this is the enemy of productivity, but it's the enemy of you creating the life that you want and getting your mission, your word, your message out with the world. And this is why it's ripping you off and it's ripping everyone else off. I noticed this, guys. I'm going to give you a quick example. I noticed this when I was creating the content for my website, that I was doing this. You know, I would learn something, it would make sense, and then I would go and try and apply that in the business, or I try to create content. And something that probably should have taken, if I literally just expressed myself freely, something that literally should take maybe half an hour, took me months, because I kept going back and forth, thinking it wasn't good enough yet. And then as I said it wasn't good enough, my self-esteem lowered. And then as I did that, I didn't believe that it was worthy of being putting out into the world yet. And guess what? All of this battle just happened inside of my mind. No one was telling me that. It happened inside of my mind, and so my work wasn't shared with the world. And so what I've done recently, guys, to really make a shift on this, especially as soon as last week I've actually been consciously applying this, is as soon as I think of something, I just go with that first. And so what I mean by that is when I get up in the morning and I want to wear a shirt, I don't take 5 minutes to see, or 6 minutes to go back and forth and say, no, this doesn't look good. I'd rather wear this and wear it with these pants and have all this nonsense in my mind. No, what do I feel like wearing right now? Black shirt? Cool. Black shorts? Done. Let me go share my message with the world now, because that is what is more important Not what toothpaste I use or how I brushed my teeth or what outfit I'm gonna wear and how I look in it. My message is important to share with the world. Okay, same thing whenever I go and someone asks me, what do I want? And I'm picking food. I don't sit there, like the last week, the habit has not been to try and make sense of it or get too analytical where I'm like, okay, well, what food goes with what? And if I have the avocado, will the avocado be too heavy with the broccoli and the spinach? And then, trying to make sense of this and saying, is it gonna give me enough nutrients? No, I've just been going with what I feel. And I've been applying it in simple areas like that to help me transfer it on over to my business. So I've been doing it with things that I'm eating and things that I'm wearing. That's a place that you could start. Hint, I just gave you an action step to see how much more time you save and how this influences your thinking in your business, but also your thinking at your work and your relationships and your conversations with people. How did I recently apply this in my business? Well, yesterday, in less than an hour, I scheduled 12 weeks, so 3 months worth of my Google Hangout shows that I'm going to be having, where I'm going to be interviewing 1 to 2 people every week in the areas of online marketing, in the areas of health, mindset, inspiration, growth, personal development, and I'm going to be having these people and be hosting these shows on my website. Now think about that, guys. There's all types of things that could have went through my head, and as I noticed that they came into my head, I got them out. So for example, I was creating the titles of the shows, and I'm like, well, this doesn't sound right, this doesn't sound right, or maybe this could be better. Is this a good enough title for the show? Should I talk about something else? No. I literally just made a list and I flowed. I'm like, what are 12 shows? I wrote them down. First thing that came to the top of my mind, and then from that, I just put them on, I executed it, put it into the computer, and scheduled them. Now, something that would have taken me potentially anywhere between a day to a week, because I could have kept going back and forth on that project to do, or even who knows, maybe even a month, because as I'm planning 3 months of content, that's going to keep changing. I just did it in less than an hour. Something so simple, and this is what I'm talking about. Do you have a blog post that you want to write that you've been procrastinating about because you don't have the perfect words yet? Well, guess what? It's never going to be perfect, even when you do it, even when you spend 2 or 3 months on something that should take you an hour. It's not going to be perfect because you're going to think of a way to make it better after, and someone's going to give you another idea. Why? Because you're going to grow, you're going to expand, you're going to learn more, and then you're going to think of ways in which that could be better. But if you want to make that happen as soon as possible, you want to know the best way to get that out, is just put it out there. Don't second guess yourself. You're ripping yourself off, you're ripping off your customers, you're ripping off the people you want to serve. Just express yourself authentically. Get it out there. It can always be made better. You can always do better, okay? Maybe I'll go back and I'll change some of those things, but the reality is I've put it out there into the physical world where people can see it now, and I can get feedback from people, and I can get ideas that maybe make me want to change the titles of those shows or have a new show in place of that. But the reality is I got that task done so I could go to the next things, which are most important. Because guys, we're usually letting tasks hold us back. We're usually letting certain action items hold us back. But keep in mind, keep in perspective that these action items are all made towards fulfilling a higher purpose. They're made to get your mission out there. They're made for you to serve people at the very best ability that you can do, at the very highest level. And if that's true for you, then a blog post or creating a website or having a conversation with a customer or a client that you've been putting off needs to just be put to the side and do it. Don't even think about it, just do it. Whatever comes to your mind, trust yourself. You can trust your intuition. You will come up with the right stuff. And just know that you'll always come up with ways to make it better afterwards, but you gotta put it out first. So just put it out freely without arguing with yourself, without arguing whether it's perfect or it's not, and just get it out into the world. And the more you do this, the more productive you're gonna be, because there's gonna be less combating thoughts telling you to do one thing and another thing, preventing you from getting the project done. You're just gonna flow. You're just gonna decide, hey, I wanna do this, I wanna create this blog post, and you're just gonna write. And sure, you might have a couple ideas that make you change some things along the way, but it won't be something so arduous to the point where it prevents you from getting the work done. or where it takes you way longer than it should have to get the work done. Guys, I hope this resonates. I hope this makes sense. Think about one area in your life where you've been doing this. Is there a conversation you've been meaning to have, but you've been putting it off for 3 weeks because you don't know the right words to say, and then you just put it to the back of your mind and you think it's not important anymore? Is there a message that you want to communicate to your audience? Is there a video you want to make like this, but you're not sure how to title it or the words to use, and you keep putting it off? It doesn't matter, guys. I'm telling you from experience, it doesn't matter. This video, man, it's not being planned. I know it's not perfect. I know it's 10 minutes. I know it's a little bit longer, but the message is here. The message you need to hear. And if I want to go back and remaster these or make these better as I go along and continue on my journey, I can do that. But guess what? I'm going to learn more by putting this out now, and the feedback I get not only from people, but as I grow, in ways that I could make it better, in ways that I could communicate my message better, in ways that I can reach my audience better. But I have to put it out first. So just put it out. Just put it out as quick as you can, freely, without resistance. Without resistance, because that's going to be your truest, most authentic self coming in that message. You see, when we try to get these thoughts in our head that can potentially hold us back, a lot of times it's taking away from the authenticity of that message. Know who you really are. Put it out there authentically. Continue to develop and let it go. You'll always learn and be able to make things better as you go. I hope this served you, and I'm not going to say I hope because I know that this resonated with the right people and it served the right people for where they are right now in their lives. Go ahead, pick something today and pay attention to your thoughts and notice if there's these thoughts that are holding you back from executing and getting a task that you've meant to get done. And then what I want you to do is put those thoughts aside and just execute freely with whatever first comes to your mind. And just get that work out there and see how much more relieved you feel. And see how much quicker you get things done. And see how you continue to move towards your goals with inspiration, with momentum, and motivation. I love each and every one of you. I'll see you tomorrow on the next day, on the next video. And I look forward to sharing with you a new lesson that I've learned. Love you. Have a great day.